Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today's video is going to be my items I've had in my closet for 5 years video. So I have only 10 items to show you that I got from kind of the end of 2016 through 2017. And so I want to go through those with you and show you which ones are still in my closet. Now, very few of these, actually only like a third of these items are clothing. Most of them are accessories, and I find that so interesting because now I'm buying very few accessories. It's mostly clothing, so I want to see what happens, 5 years from now. I did have some wonderful clothing items that I loved that I bought during this time period that just unfortunately didn't fit me after pregnancies. So some of those, a good significant portion of those have gone to a friend, and then I've sold some. So there were some good items, but I would say in general, it was around 2017 that I really feel like I developed my personal style. I started just making really smart choices with my wardrobe. So before I was just I was kind of just getting into luxury and designer. So I was trying a lot of things, but they weren't necessarily things that were great for me. And I would say that 2018 was an even further year of development. I also wasn't fussy about like materials, and I was just starting to learn about sustainability in 2017. So a lot of those items just didn't work for me anymore because wool I can't wear on my skin anymore and like that sort of thing. Or again, they were too constricting and too small, don't fit me anymore. So the first thing is actually this dress. I have worn many, many times. It is polyester. It's one of the few items in my wardrobe that is, but it is, and I still love this dress, so I'm still going to keep it. It's a Nick and Zoe wrap dress that I bought in a consignment store in California on my anniversary. So it has a little bit of a story to it. Because this is a wrap dress, it has fit me at different weight fluctuations. And then I've also loved the collar details, the 3/4 sleeves. It's just been a great dress for work, and it also works well for casual wear. So it's something that I wear each semester at least, if not more than that, a few times a year. And then a dress that I still really like. So this is one of the items. The only pair of shoes that I bought 5 years ago, they're still in my wardrobe, are these wedges. And I was so excited about these. I got them for my birthday. I desperately wanted white wedges. I was looking all over the place for them, and these are very comfortable wedges. What's interesting is these are also the only pair of LK Bennett's I still have in my wardrobe. I just discovered more comfortable shoe brands as time went on. But these ones, because they have the memory foam inside, the leather is a little bit softer here, they've continued to be pretty good wedges for me. I haven't worn them. I'm not sure I wore them. I don't think I wore them at all this year. I know I wore them at least once or twice in the last few years. So they're certainly not getting the amount of wear, but that's also because I'm just not wearing wedges as much. But I do still like them, and I haven't found a pair of white wedges to replace them with. I haven't really looked either because these have kind of still continued to fill that spot. Next up is this shirt from The Lady and the Sailor. So this blouse I've worn a bunch of times. To me, it's like the epitome of fall. It's comfortable. I think it's cotton. Oh, yes, it is. So it's something that has been fine on my skin. Yeah, it's breathable, but it's like a thick, comfortable, like fall-like, but then it's blue and white, so it's also worked in the summer, and I've taken it on vacation when it's gonna be like a little more windy, that sort of thing. So this one I have thought about getting rid of a few different times, but I've never really found a reason to. And actually the reason I discovered this brand, so it was, handcrafted in the USA, and I don't even think they're still around. Maybe they are, I'm not sure. It's a small little brand, but the reason I discovered it was I actually had a student who was a fashion student, and she was interning for there and asked me to write her, like I served as some kind of reference for her. So I learned about the company that way, and I thought that they were pretty cool. And I liked my student's style, so I looked into them, and then I found this one secondhand at some point, and it's just stayed with me since. Next up, sunglasses. These Ferragamo sunglasses I have had for 5 years. I also had my prescription ones, but because I got LASIK earlier this year, I am selling those. But yeah, these 2 pairs of Ferragamos have been great. Every picture that you've seen, I know I only own now this 1 pair of sunglasses. I did have 2 pairs. That's it. So they've served me well and will continue to serve me for years. I think I probably will get more now that I don't need prescription ones, because that's just such a hassle. So yeah, maybe I'll get some more in the future, but I've always loved these. On the same trip in California when I got this dress on my birthday, I also got my very first piece of luxury that I bought in the store, and that was my clay. I still use it. It's still a great piece. It still holds my keys. So this Louis Vuitton was my first real like in-store shopping experience, and that was 5.5 years ago at this point. So this dress is Rebecca Taylor. It's, I believe, the only piece of Rebecca Taylor I still have left, and I have considered selling it. It's a little short for me now, and it's got this semi-open back. I do still like it, and it does have an elastic waist, so it has fit me, and it flows at the skirt, so it's fit me in different time periods. I like the colors of it. You know, it is polyester. It is nothing special. I bought this at a consignment shop in Savannah, Georgia, and it's almost 6 years old because I got it right into the new year. 2017, like we went for a New Year's Eve through New Year's Day and the next day or two trip. And so I was from the very beginning of January. And yeah, I've really always liked the pattern of it. I was so excited when I found it, and I spent a little more on it than I typically would have secondhand because I'd been looking for this exact dress. So I was so thrilled when I found it. I'm not sure I don't think it's going to make it another 5 years. It's probably got another year or two though in my collection. I don't have enough summer dresses. So right now it's filling that gap, but I do think it will be replaced. I only own 2 Chanel items. I think that's true. I don't think I own any clothing anymore. So I only own 2 Chanel items anymore. One of which I got this year, and then the other of which is this little vintage pouch that I have had for 5 years. Also the Timeless, which is interesting that both of them are that time period, and they're both from a similar time period, I believe. I can't remember exactly. This is either from the early 2000s or it's from the 90s. It might even be like might even be like 2006 or something. I can't remember exactly when this is from, but it's just been a nice little pouch to have, and I don't really showcase it because it's just usually in my bags. But yeah, there's been no reason to get rid of this. This was a fun little find and something that's been around. All right, and last up are 3 bags. So I bought this pochette accessoire in the monogram with the big long strap 5 years ago. I wore it for years, but I've been kind of tired of it the last few years. It's just the price of these have gone up so significantly, and you all have convinced me not to sell them, which I think is probably smart. There's not a huge reason to. My daughter actually likes to play with this one. She likes the Azure more than this one, but yeah, I don't use it much anymore. It certainly works still. I'm not really a monogram person, but I do still have it. It's fine. There's nothing special. I guess because I have the clay, I have one thing in each print. So yeah, I'm keeping it, but it's not something that I'm like, oh, I love this item from 5 years ago, you know? Another one that is very rarely showcased is my Longchamp Le Pliage Neo. I like the Neo more than the other one. I bought this, at that point we were traveling a lot more, and I do think it's like the perfect travel bag. I can't remember where I bought this. I might have gotten it secondhand. I don't remember. I know that my other one, which I showcased in last year's video, I got in the Amsterdam airport on my honeymoon. I know that one. This one, I feel like I might have bought it in an airport, but I honestly can't remember. So I must have gotten it secondhand. I must have, because I don't remember, which is funny. I'm usually very good about remembering like the memories of those things. And even I usually remember what secondhand site I bought something from or whatever. So if I look back, I'm pretty sure I did not pay full price for this. So I must have bought it secondhand. I'm pretty sure I didn't. So yeah, anyway, this one I've had for 5 years, and it does get wear, but generally only when I'm traveling. It's not a bag I use a ton. I took it to work a couple times the first few years that I had it, but I haven't reached for it in that capacity since. And honestly, it was super dusty because it just hasn't seen the light of day, and I probably haven't used this in 2 years. And last up, the Brea. This, of course, has been my most used bag since I bought it. I love this bag. I'm not working outside of the house right now, so it's not getting as much wear, but it's featured in a lot of outfits. But no, I mean, there was a time in the first year of it where I considered selling it because it wasn't perfect. I do have to finagle my documents into it a little bit, my folders to zip it. And I also found these straps a little uncomfortable. They have since flattened to my arm and have gotten quite comfortable, and I don't have any issue with them. But yeah, there was a little bit of time where I considered selling this, and I'm glad I did not, because it again has been, this is hands down one of the best buys I've ever made, and I love this one. All right, so that is it. I'm excited to do this video again next year. It's really fun for me to look back and, you know, put a time period. I can look up when I bought things and see, like, I bought things within that year-long period. Like, that's just fun for me. It's fun to go through and see. And I think 5 years, if something stands the test of time in your closet for 5 years, I think that's pretty good. I believe that I've made smart buys so that there are a good number of things that do stay, especially compared to those that don't. But I am still in the process of building like my dream wardrobe, as you know, as you've followed me through that. So yeah, there are some hits and misses along the way. Yeah, it's so fun to think about what is going to still be there 5 years from now, because of course life changes, right? Your needs change, what's practical in your wardrobe, what your body looks like. Even if you buy something that has the longevity and that you plan to make last, sometimes it just makes more sense in someone else's closet. So I am curious to see. Anyway, do you all have items from the last 5 years that you love? And which of my 10 items that have made it 5 years in my wardrobe do you like the best? Leave a comment on those down below. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you in a future video. Bye.